Hey, are we ready to resolve this plot? Nah, let's not bother. Sounds good to me. Hello and welcome to another episode of ShowHammer, where we're talking about the final episode of Ahsoka from Season 1. The Jedi, the Witch, and the Warlord. Yes, they actually went there. Okay, first thing I want to say is that the internet was ablaze even before I saw this episode, or I had time to see this episode, like an hour before I got to see it. I went in and watched it as soon as I could. People were saying, oh no, what a disappointment, this is terrible, this is bad, everyone hates it, and it's just not good. So I had a bit of trepidation going in. And here's the thing, I think I can see where everyone's coming from. I enjoyed the episode. The fight sequences are great. Seeing the Dark Witches use their powers to resurrect Thrawn's troops was great. I did not like that they all turned into brainless zombies, essentially, because, well, it's not as fun to see just mindless zombies in Star Wars as it is to see troops that simply can't be stopped because you can bring them back to life and they're the same again. You know what I mean? So if we've got a thinking, tactical enemy and then you kill them, you overcome all of the issues that they're presenting to you, and then they get back up and do it again, that's interesting. If you have a tactical, interesting enemy and you overcome all of the obstacles and kill them, and then they come back as a brainless zombie, there's no threat there because you've already demonstrated that you can best the best of the best. So why would a brainless zombie be anything more of a threat than just a load of people running at you? I don't see it. It's not good, you know? You've essentially brought in easy mode. So that wasn't good. I would have preferred it if they come back as themselves rather than just coming back as brainless creatures. Also, I did like all the fights. They were very well done, very well choreographed. It was great to see. Thrawn came across very well, and him just, you've been a good adversary, see ya, and then going was great. Perfect Thrawn. He was great all the way through. In fact, all the times that we saw him, let's put it that way, he wasn't in it enough, really. But here's where it gets to the point where I think everyone is saying, no, this was a disappointment. We get two shots of the Dark Jedi. One is of the woman whose name I can never remember. Shin, is it? Yeah. She turns up at an enemy encampment and raises her lightsaber. And that's it. And Baylan is stood next to a statue of a giant face. And that's all we see him do. They're not in this episode, essentially. They're setting up for another story. But the actor who played Baylan is dead. And that gets me worried. Because there are two ways that they can go. And neither's really great for this sort of thing. They can either have a new actor come in for the next season and spend the entire time being compared to the previous actor, which is not great. Or they can end his story there, which I don't think they want to do. And I'll get back to why in a moment. But Shin, she was absolutely devastated at the end of the last episode, and I thought she was going with the stormtroopers to go back to the ship. But she wasn't on the ship. She probably should have been. It just feels like they've missed part of the story to explain why she didn't go with the people she was with and instead went off to find her own group. I don't get it. I'm not sure what's going on there. I know there was a line in the previous episodes where Thrawn was basically saying that he was done with those people, and if they succeeded, that was great, but if they died killing Ahsoka and all of them, that was fine as well. So perhaps she wasn't welcome, which would have been perfectly fine and in character with the rest of the troops, all of the stormtroopers that are loyal to Thrawn and no one else, but we should have seen that if that's the case. So it feels like they've cut out the characterization and the resolution of that storyline in order to give us a, hey, tune back in next time, which I don't think was good. Also, Ahsoka and Sabine are now on the planet, while the guy they came to find, Ezra, is back in the usual galaxy. So all they've done is swap positions. And it feels like the entire season, as a result, is basically just getting people into the position they need to be for whatever story comes next, which doesn't mean that we've got a satisfying resolution. It feels like they've just gone, haha, you thought we were going to resolve this. Nope, on to the next one. So that's not great. Visually, it was all excellent. Oh my goodness, some of the shots we got. The Star Destroyer with the Eye of Sion around it, coming in on that planet, and it's just encasing the planet in the circle, and then the planet encases it, and it goes down. Wonderful, wonderful composition there. Absolutely loved it. Most of the visuals, in fact, were actually really good in this episode. It was very well done. But here's what I think is going to happen. They've essentially set everyone up into the positions they need to be to do Heir to the Empire. You know, we got that in the trailer where they're saying Thrawn's heir to the Empire and all of that. Well, Thrawn is now back in the main Star Wars galaxy, building up his reserves so that he can do the Empire thing, glory to the Empire and all of that. Meanwhile, Balin is off learning whatever he needs to learn in order to then come back later into the galaxy, and he would then be in the same position with the same knowledge as C'baoth from Heir to the Empire, which I'm pretty sure is what they're setting up. So next season we might actually see the Heir to the Empire that were essentially promised from that trailer, which means that Ezra is now in the Luke Skywalker position where I thought it was going to be Ahsoka. We may still end up with a Mara Jade situation with Shin, because she is so conflicted. And I needed more resolution on what she was all about. When she was cast aside by her former master and essentially left out and betrayed by Thrawn's troops, I thought that was going to make something up, and she would maybe either go for a final attack to prove herself in the finale or join the rebel people. But no, none of that happened. So I'm hoping that we'll see that in a future season where they actually do the Heir to the Empire that they were promising. I would love to see that. I don't think we're going to see it though. I honestly feel like at this point, because of the way they've resolved this by not resolving anything at all, there is no resolution to anything in this, then perhaps we should be wary of what comes next, because it's really put a damper on it. I have enjoyed the majority of the season. You've seen the ratings that I've given to all these episodes. I've really enjoyed it, but this was a major disappointment. In fact, the only thing that I think they've resolved is that Sabine has got over the mental block that was stopping her using the Force, because she managed to call a lightsaber, which was nice to see. So that was good. That's the only resolution they've had. Well done. 8 episodes, you moved a lightsaber. At the end of the day, because of the disappointment of not resolving things, leaving everything hanging with uncertainty on whether you're going to even make a second season, because we all know what happens with streaming services, they can just be dropped just like that. Well, I have to say, I'm disappointed. So I'm going to give this a ShowHammer rating of 5.5. It gets just over the line of being halfway good, because the composition was good, the fight sequences were good, it was an interesting story, and I enjoyed what I saw, but I needed it to actually resolve something. So 5.5 is all I can give it. What did you guys think of this episode and the season as a whole? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. But until next time, I've been Zoe Kirk Robinson, you've been watching ShowHammer, take care, and may the Force be with you. If you like the show, please consider supporting me on Patreon. It really does help create future videos. That's patreon.com/Zoe Kirk Robinson. And I've got an extra special thanks going out to Chief89, Sam Yates, Retro Mickey 82, Mo Henry, and George Botterini. Thank you so much, guys.